everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Blessing, and tonight I'm gonna be talking about the IELTS writing task 1 and how to answer a typical question on IELTS writing task 1. So basically in this section you're expected to paraphrase the question and then draw out conclusions from the bar chart or pie chart or whatever chart you're given. It could be a map, for instance, it could be anything. So you're expected to draw conclusions from there and then write in about 150 words. It's advisable to write more than 150 words and also to be as concise as possible. Don't over explain yourself. So I'll show you a typical example of a bar chart and then we'll take it from there. Yeah, stay tuned. So this is an example of a bar chart. It was just a random example. So you could be given a bar chart, a line graph. Sometimes it's a table, sometimes it's a pie chart, sometimes it's a diagram or a process, sometimes it's a map, and at times it's a combination of the above, which is multiple tasks. So always remember that writing task 1 is not an essay, it is actually a report. So you can start by analyzing this one. For example, you can say for this task, write a report of over 150 words. The bar chart here in your exam is going to be, the bar chart below shows the percentage of people who shopped online from 2015 to 2019. You can say Nigeria in the UK, but let's use in the UK. So as you can see in this bar chart, this axis is percentage of people, and you can see it's from 10 to 50%. The x-axis is showing the years from 2015 to 2019, and then you can see that the green bar here, the key, represents teenagers. The one with the strokes represents men. The ones with that are blank represent the women. Now let's go straight to the analysis of the chart and how you're going to answer if you see a question like this. So the first thing I would like you to note is you should divide your answer into paragraphs. So let's go to the first paragraph. So the first paragraph of the answer would be to paraphrase the question. So formally I said this bar chart shows. So for this I'm going to need a pen. So let me write it here so that it's clearer. So the question was, the bar chart shows, or the bar chart below shows. Now when you're paraphrasing into your first paragraph, you put the bar chart illustrates instead of shows. So this is an example of a way to paraphrase your the first paragraph. So this is the question. The chart below shows the percentage of people who shopped online from 2015 to 2019 in the UK. So like I said before, the bar chart shows, you change it to illustrates. Yeah, so instead of shows, you change it to illustrates. So the bar chart below illustrates rather than shows the proportion instead of percentage of, instead of people, you can see here men, women and teenagers who shopped online or who did online shopping from 2015 to 2019. You can put in a period of 5 years, in bracket 2015 to 2019 in the UK. That's a very good way to paraphrase it and a very good example. So your first paragraph is gone. Then for your second paragraph, you start with overall. So usually for the second paragraph, you go like that. Overall. So in this bar chart, you need to follow the trend. Yeah. So first of all, you go for highest and then you go for lowest. Yes, so when you're talking about overall, you go for highest, and then you go for lowest. Sorry, because I'm writing at an angle, my ink is not coming out well. So when you start, you say overall. For instance, say overall, it can be seen from the bar chart that the highest percentage of all people that shopped online was women. Yeah, because the women are the blank ones. Overall, it can be seen. So this is what we're saying. Here it was women. Here it was women. 2017 was women. 2018 was women, compared with men and then teenagers. So overall, it can be seen that the highest percentage of people who shopped online was women, comma, while teenagers consistently accounted for the lowest proportion. So in that case, you've got to your highest plus women, yeah, while teenagers consistently formed the lowest proportion. Teenagers, ink is running out again. So teenagers, okay, formed the lowest proportion. So that's your first statement. In the second paragraph, you go for overall. Yeah, looking at this bar chart again, you say furthermore. So aside overall, you use furthermore. Excuse me there. Okay, so second statement to say furthermore. So what do you want to write in your furthermore? So the first one, overall, we got the highest and the lowest proportions. In this one, we are going to say a significant increase in the proportion of people shopping online can be seen over the period given. So you can see the trend that this increased. It was about the same, but there was a slight increase to this, then to this, then to this. So there's a gradual increase. This also showed the same trend. This also showed the same trend. So even though there's a sharp rise from this to this, but overall the trend was increasing, wasn't coming down. So we can say overall, even if this at some point came down, because you have over a period of 5 years to increase before coming down, you first say furthermore, it can be seen that throughout the period there was a general increase in the proportion of people who shopped online. Yeah, can be seen over the period. So furthermore would be query increase or decrease over the period. So this is yeah. So let's go to paragraph 2 is sorted. Your paragraph 1 will be to paraphrase the question. Paraphrase the question. Your paragraph 2 will be an overview. So you have your overall and your furthermore. Your overall is you've located the highest, you've located the lowest, which was teenagers. Sorry about that. The lowest, which was teenagers. Yeah. Now let's go to paragraph 3. Remember, you're writing 4 paragraphs, 150 words. So your paragraph 3 would be a little bit more analytical than paragraphs 1 and 2. So you can say the percentage of women who shopped online started at, if you look at this graph, it started at about 20%. If you see it at 21, you see it started at just over 20%. You don't say 21%. So it just shows that you have a good command of the English language, and you can use a group of words to represent certain figures. Yeah. So it says this figure then rose gradually to reach a peak of what? What can you see for women? Let's look at it. So 2019 rose gradually to reach a peak of about just under 60%. Yeah, just under 60%. or you can say almost 60% in 2019. So this is it. This is 50. Every line adds 10%. So this is 50. This should be just under 60 or almost 60 in 2019. And then if there's another group of 3 charts, let me illustrate that with a pen. So let's say after 2019, let's say for instance you were to have an additional group of bars, then that would be 2020. Let's say, just illustrating, then you have that, and that. Then you have that, and that. Let's say this was to fall to this. I'll try to illustrate it better. Let's say this, well, this was to fall to like this, which is about this is 10%, 20, 30, about 35%. You see, rose steadily to a peak of just under 60% before falling to 35%. That was my point. But since we don't have this, this is just hypothetical. Then you can say rose to a peak of this and stop at that. So then you, instead of 2019, you can put in the final year. So before rising to a peak of just under 60% in the final year. Now you go to your third paragraph is now sorted. Yeah, so you're not like picking figures, every single value from the chart, if you get what I mean. You're picking the lowest or the highest figures, the significant ones. Yeah, so your fourth paragraph will also be a little bit more analytical than the first 3, even more than the third paragraph. So you can put, in terms of men and teenagers shopping online, comma, the rates remained relatively stable in the first 2 years. As you can see, for teenagers it was like that, for men it was like that, relatively stable the first 2 years, relatively stable the first 2 years, and the similar trend can be seen in the third year. At this point, the proportion of men who shopped online gradually rose to a peak of about what? 35%. Hope you can see that. Rose to a peak of about 35% in the final year. And you see, from this point, the percentage of teenagers who shopped online rose to a peak of 30% in the final year. So remember that paraphrasing does not have to be complicated. Remember the highs and lows and follow the trends, and check the use of your linking words. And remember that this is not an essay, it's actually a report. And note that there will be a variation in sentence structure. So don't overload your report with too many small details. This is how people lose marks. And aim for around 170, max 190 words. Yeah. So I wish you all the best in your IELTS. If you're new to my channel, kindly subscribe, click on the notification bell so you can get notifications.